Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. It's Lizzie the Lightworker here, and thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. If you've clicked on this video, this is for Aries Divine Female and a Taurus Divine Male in separation, and this was a viewer's request. So thank you so much for your requests, guys. I love getting these done for you. Thank you for your patience while getting them done, working on them, and thank you so much for liking and subscribing. So what I like to do here, guys, is pretty much the same way I do my twin flame readings, but we focus a little bit more on the separation, what caused it, okay, what needs to be done during the separation, and some advice you can take away, hopefully, from this reading that will help you along on your spiritual journey, okay? So we're going to get right into this. We're going to go with our Divine Female, and I'm using my tarot cards, and I may just pull in some butterfly cards. I'll get those out and sort of to the side here, okay? So let's get into our Divine Female. So I feel like she's done some moving on, or maybe some type of physical movement. I don't know, she moved away. That sometimes comes up with this card, but really it's just about physical movement, moving on, okay, moving on to something different or new, moving on to better times. Better times are ahead, usually when this card pops up, but yes, it can also indicate a separation here. So I'm feeling like she's sort of anticipating if he's gonna get back in touch with her. I feel like she's a little bit almost dwelling on it, or putting a little bit too much focus upon that, okay, or she's thinking about her past a lot. This union could have been rough. To me, with this card, it's a survivor, like you survived some things, okay? Or you're just feeling that way, okay? Or you may have had to go through some real big changes, and it's left you sort of battle-worn, battle-stricken, okay? So, you know, you're thinking about everything that's happened in the past, you moving on or moving away from this, or you know, maybe some obstacles you've had to overcome because of your twin. Maybe, you know, the relationship itself put you in this position where you're now feeling, you know, sort of like a little paranoid, or feeling like, you know, you're almost waiting for the next battle to come, and you've obviously been through a lot. When this card comes up, okay, it does mean that you have survived something, and usually something major, okay, that sort of made you have to use all your strength up. Okay, so you have to find that strength in reserve, which is about this card, okay, so about pushing through and sort of staying on that track where you continue to push yourself through, and you will make it, okay? I just feel like she's waiting for her lover to return to her, or she's waiting for contact, okay? But I do feel like she has some stuff she needs to let go of from the past. All right, that 9 of Wands to me is saying that that's something that's rather difficult. You can't overcome it, or you're having difficulty overcoming it, or you thought you made a lot of progress and you still just have these feelings and thoughts about your twin, and they're sort of stopping you up from moving on. To me, this also says that you may be working on new career goals, or new life goals, or setting new life goals, okay? And maybe waiting for returns when it comes to that. Maybe a new job, maybe a new career, new house, schooling, whatever it may be. There's a sense of renewal here, or wanting new or renewal in your life, okay? So I feel like, yes, to me this is saying waiting for someone to return to you, waiting for that contact to be returned. I don't know if she reached out to him in recent weeks, months, days, whatever, if she's waiting or anticipating him sort of reciprocating back to her, okay? So I do feel like that's going on a little bit here with that. But to me, it's saying that you survived something, or something was just so tough or so hard, and it was really detrimental that you moved on from it, okay? But you have to be sort of completely moved on if you're going to start your spiritual journey. This to me could also indicate that you're thinking about the next step, okay, what you're going to do next, or how you're going to even begin your spiritual journey, or what now, sort of what now, what's next, okay? And that could relate to without your twin, what's now, what's next? Or you've been apart for a little while and you're still sort of stuck, and you're still trying to figure out what you need to do or what needs to be done. But just simply, you know, keeping that faith, okay? You're going to have to keep that faith. So our Divine Male, Okay, I feel like in his life, he may just be the kind of person that's not really satisfied with anything. Okay, he may just be the kind of guy that no matter what he does, he feels like it's never enough or doesn't ever pay out the way he wants it to. I feel like there's a lot of focus on money with him. Okay, his status, his money, his savings, what he has to look at, like like possessions. Okay, what are his possessions that he has? To me, that's very important to him. When he does something and he feels like he puts all his effort into it and it doesn't pay out the way he wanted it to, or play out the exact way he wanted it to, I feel like he can become very frustrated, sort of depressed, sort of down on himself, very dissatisfied. Okay, he'll have a lot of distaste for things. Okay, and may even develop a bit of a negative attitude and a negative outlook towards life. Okay, I feel like he's an excellent communicator. I do feel like he knows what he needs to do to change things, and he knows, as far as his goals, he knows how to achieve them. He knows how to get to where he's going. Sometimes it takes him a little bit longer to do these things. He is a little slower when it comes to progress. Okay, our divine female, she's all about progress. Okay, she wants to see results. She wants to feel things, wants to know things. She's about keeping that wheel turning. Okay, she doesn't really stop. It's like a constant motion with her, and that's just the way she lives her life. And that is the fiery nature of an Aries or any fire sign. They're all about progression and movement and doing and entrepreneurship and tackling life and tackling challenges, and they're not afraid to take risks. That's an Aries nature. Okay, and they're very creative people, so they're not going to stop for anything. So this is why this is interesting to me. I feel like this union has definitely stopped her up, and now she's just doing some heavy thinking. With him, I'm feeling like, yes, he is an excellent communicator, like I said. I do feel like he can definitely take on management type roles, or like being a hierarchy like type of a personality, if that makes any sense, like in control, that type of a person. Okay, I feel like he likes to have control. He likes to know what's next. I do feel like he fears the unknown. Okay, he likes to be stable, secure, all that, have his money. He likes to have the reliability of a paycheck. It would bother him to not know what was going to be next, or what was going to happen next, or the next step to take. But I do feel like he is moving on and moving up in the world. Okay, somewhere with this, to me, that's saying like he's celebrating some type of success, or you know what, he's just a person that he feels his worth. Okay, he knows what he's worth in life, and he's not going to settle for anything less. But yeah, I'm feeling like he may come up with some type of new idea here, and new thought patterns, and new beliefs, and new clarity of beliefs when it comes to his twin in this union. I feel like he needed to move on. Okay, he needed to work on this sort of dissatisfied attitude that he has a lot in life about things. Okay, he may feel like he put a lot of energy into this relationship, and if it didn't, like I say, play out exactly the way he wanted it, or exactly what he wanted, because I do feel like he's a little bit center focused, a little bit selfish, a little bit self-focused. I don't mean selfish in a mean way. I mean that these are things that interrupt our twin flame unions. Okay, when we have self-interest and we haven't worked that out yet, and made ourselves happy to the happiest we can possibly be, and cleared up those things, we're not going to be able to be with our twin and feel that full magic. Okay, so that's part of what I'm feeling and sensing here. I do feel like he's got people that are jealous of him. Definitely people who are jealous of him, who really don't like when he's successful or happy. Maybe they were jealous of your relationship. I do feel that, but I do feel like he doesn't let that bother him. I feel like he toots his own horn a lot. Like, he knows he's good, and he knows he's good looking, and he just knows. And there could be a sense of a little bit of an ego issue with that, to me, or a slight hint of narcissism with that energy. Okay, I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm not saying that that's this particular energy for this. It could resonate with anybody, guys. That's all I'm saying. But that's what I'm picking up. Okay, so really I am saying that I feel like there is a little bit of ego trip, egotistical nature here. I don't feel like it's super harmful, but I feel like to this relationship this union it was, because that has to be put aside. And you really have to know where you're going, know who you are, know who you want to be, and get those things done. So I feel like he's journeying out into the world to try to figure things out and try to go after his successes. And he really needs this to happen, okay? He's putting a lot of energy into this. I do feel like this could also indicate sort of a spiritual journey. So there's some things that, you know, obviously he needs to do, that he's, you know, wants to make himself feel satisfied. And he cannot come into a relationship unless he feels like he has all those key elements. Sort of like when you make a recipe and you're baking a cake, you can't leave the eggs out, okay? That's just an example of how he might be feeling. He has to have all the elements, all the ingredients to make this work the right way, or he's not going to be satisfied. And it starts with him. He's not a satisfied person, okay? I feel like nothing is ever good enough sometimes for him. And that is definitely part of ego, okay? And with our Aries here, I feel like she does have a hard time moving on when it comes to relationships, particularly this one, but I feel like that's just in her nature. Sometimes she has a hard time moving on, and she does spend a lot of time reflecting and looking back and sort of longing and maybe wallowing a little bit in the sadness of it, okay? But, you know, it's all about the journey, guys. So let's see what could have caused the separation. Well, we know how I feel about that card, right? That card is always, to me, it's sort of lies, secrets, withholding information from each other, holding back feelings from each other, sort of sneaking around, okay? Excuse me. Sort of trying to get away with things, okay? It's sneaky, deceitful, sneaky behavior. To me, that's like a snake in the grass, okay? So I'm feeling like this could have been our energy of our Taurus here. I could be wrong, guys. A lot of the time these read in reverse, okay? So that's fine. Take it how it resonates. But to me, this is like cheating and lying and stealing and all the bad things, okay? It's someone with sort of a real bad boy side, or a bad boy ego, or somebody who is horribly insecure, and they do things thinking they're going to get away with things, and they really hurt people, okay? So yeah, I don't know if there's some infidelity going on here, some lying going on here. Excuse me again, guys. Some abusive maybe behavior or talk. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, with the moon in this card, this is cheating, okay? And lying about it and gaslighting you, making you think you're crazy. You heard things, you that's not true. You're seeing things, you're hearing things. Like kind of like being so deceptive that it makes you crazy. It makes you feel like you're insane. So now this card is making sense because she's weathered a crazy storm here with this twin of hers, okay? So yeah, deceit, lies, things not seeming what they are, there's more than meets the eye, that sort of thing, okay? Sneaking around sort of in the dark. It's things you sort of do in the dark that get revealed at another time, or things that you work towards. You have to know. I just got to know what's going on. I have to know. I have to get the light shed on this, okay? Those sorts of feelings, okay? This is also somebody that cannot tame their wild side, and like I said, this is somebody who's never satisfied. So he just may never be satisfied with just one partner. That could be part of his issues, okay? Feeling like he's missing out on other opportunities with other people. It's goes together with the infidelity sort of thing, okay? With Page of Swords, to me, that's saying that there is definitely somebody who could not be trusted, somebody that gossiped, talked behind your back, that had a lot to say, maybe some hurtful words were exchanged, maybe some not being able to sort of stand in the maturity or be responsible for what they've done. Okay, sort of an immature nature there. And we're getting this is sort of like the denial card, okay? Sort of feeling imprisoned and can't get past this. Okay, so this is going to be more for our Aries. Sort of putting yourself in your own mental prison, thinking that you can't get past this, thinking that it's never going to get better, refusing to see the truth of the matter, the truth of the situation, how hurtful this really was. It put her in a place where she just was so beaten down by this, so sad, so regretful. All the emotions in the world just sort of hit her. Each sword she feels is another mental challenge that she has to deal with, and she has imprisoned herself. Okay, so the goal is going to be to sort of break the chains here, take your power back and accept what happened, and sort of try to move on. Okay, stop waiting for him to come back to you, stop waiting for that connection. He obviously has so much work to do here, and you as well. Do your work, Divine Female, do your work, Divine Male. And we'll get one butterfly card here. Okay. Grief work, okay? To me, this is saying that you need to focus on sort of like the grieving of this relationship. It's almost like treat it like, I don't want to say like somebody died, but I feel like sometimes that's how we feel when we go into separation. I feel like we feel like another part of ourselves died. So if that makes any sense, guys, it's sort of like grieve it out. Like, allow yourself to feel anger, allow yourself to feel resentments, allow yourself to be sad and lonely and longing. Like, go through those 5 stages of grief over this, if that makes any sense. And sometimes we need to seek counseling. Sometimes we do need to seek someone to talk to help us along. Okay, if that makes any sense. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Lizzie the Lightworker. I will catch you guys on the next reading. Let me know what you think. Smash that like button if you like this reading, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.